There is no Pakistan in this timeline. Not because Pakistan was erased. Because it was never created. Because the line that divided the subcontinent in August 1947, drawn in 6 weeks by a British lawyer who had never been to India, was never drawn. 1 to 2 million people died in the partition of India. 15 million were displaced overnight. The largest mass migration in human history, driven by fear and sectarian violence that the border itself created. What if that line was never drawn? June 1947. The British Empire is leaving India. This is not a negotiation, it is a certainty. Britain cannot afford to hold India. The Indian independence movement has made colonial rule impossible. The only question is what India looks like when the British leave. 3 men hold the answer: Jawaharlal Nehru, leader of the Indian National Congress, secular nationalist, wants a united India. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, leader of the Muslim League, fears Muslim minority status in a Hindu-majority democracy, demands a separate Muslim state. Lord Mountbatten, the last viceroy, wants to leave as quickly as possible with minimum British embarrassment. In our timeline, Mountbatten accelerated the independence date from June 1948 to August 1947, moving it forward by 10 months. He did this for political reasons. The situation was deteriorating, communal violence was spreading, and he wanted to leave before it got worse. The acceleration was catastrophic. It gave Cyril Radcliffe, a British barrister who had never visited India, 6 weeks to draw a border dividing a subcontinent of 400 million people. 6 weeks to decide which villages were Indian and which were Pakistani. He drew the line on a map and went home. He never returned. In this timeline, Mountbatten keeps the original June 1948 date. 12 more months. Those 12 months allow what the Cabinet Mission Plan of 1946 had originally proposed, a 3-tier federation. A united India with 3 groups of provinces, Hindu majority, Muslim majority, and mixed, each with full internal autonomy over everything except defense, foreign affairs, and communications. Jinnah gets his Muslim majority provinces governing themselves. Nehru gets his united India. Nobody gets everything. Everybody gets enough. Subscribe to the Alternate Archive, a new timeline opens every week. The Cabinet Mission Plan was real. It was proposed in May 1946 by a British delegation that had spent months in India consulting all parties. Both Congress and the Muslim League initially accepted it. It collapsed over a specific disagreement about how the grouping mechanism would work, and once it collapsed, partition became inevitable. In this timeline, the extra 12 months allow that disagreement to be resolved. Not perfectly, not happily, but resolved. Jinnah accepts a federation because the alternative, waiting for partition that now isn't coming, is worse than compromise. The United Indian Federation is born on August 15, 1948. It has 3 groups. Group A, Hindu-majority provinces, most of modern India. Group B, Muslim-majority provinces, modern Pakistan and Bangladesh. Group C, mixed provinces, Punjab, Bengal, Assam, with special protections. Each group governs its own internal affairs, law, education, language, religion. The central government handles defense, foreign policy, currency, and communications. The Federation is not a unitary state. It is closer to the European Union than to modern India. Is this stable? Not easily. The tensions between Hindu majority and Muslim majority politics don't vanish because a charter is signed. But the specific trigger for mass violence, a border drawn overnight that leaves 15 million people on the wrong side, never occurs. No border means no mass displacement. No displacement means no refugee crisis. No refugee crisis means no communal massacres. The 1 to 2 million who died in partition live. In our timeline, Kashmir has been the most dangerous place on Earth since 1947. For wars between India and Pakistan. 70,000 dead in the insurgency since 1989. 2 nuclear-armed states facing each other across a ceasefire line. The closest the world has come to nuclear war since Cuba. All of it traces to partition. The Maharaja of Kashmir, a Hindu ruler of a Muslim-majority state, was forced to choose between India and Pakistan in August 1947. He delayed. Pakistani-backed tribal fighters invaded. He signed the instrument of accession to India. War followed. It has never ended. In this timeline, there is no choice to make. Kashmir is a province of the United Indian Federation, within Group CS Mixed Province Zone. It has special autonomy provisions. It is not divided. It is not occupied. The 70,000 people who died in the insurgency live. No Kashmir conflict means no nuclear arms race between India and Pakistan. The subcontinent's nuclear weapons program, in our timeline driven primarily by mutual threat, develops differently here. India may still go nuclear, China is still a competitor, but the specific danger of 2 hostile nuclear states sharing a 1,400-mile border doesn't exist. Here is the economic argument that makes India specialists lose sleep. The partition of India didn't just kill people. It severed a functional economic unit. The Indus irrigation system, the agricultural backbone of Punjab, was split between 2 hostile states. The jute mills of Calcutta were separated from the jute fields of East Bengal. The port of Karachi was cut off from its natural hinterland. The railway network, built as a single integrated system, was carved into 2 hostile fragments. The economic cost of maintaining 2 hostile militaries, fighting for wars, and operating severed transportation networks for 77 years is estimated at between $2 and $4 trillion in present value. In this timeline, that money goes into development instead of weapons. The United Indian Federation's GDP growth in the 1950s and 1980s outpaces our timeline's divided subcontinent by 2 to 3 percentage points per year. Compound that over 77 years. The United Indian Federation in 2026 has a GDP roughly equivalent to China's, approximately $25 trillion. In our world, India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh combined produce about $16 trillion. The difference, $9 trillion, is the economic cost of partition, compounded over 8 decades. So what does 2026 look like? The United Indian Federation is a federal parliamentary democracy of 1.8 billion people, the world's most populous country by a wide margin. It is the world's second largest economy after China. It has been a nuclear power since 1974. It is a permanent member of the UN Security Council. The Federation is imperfect. Hindu-Muslim tensions exist. Provincial politics are fractious. The Group B provinces, Muslim majority, periodically threaten to reduce cooperation with the central government. But they don't secede, because the economic benefits of federation are too large, and because the constitutional structure gives them genuine autonomy over the things that matter most: law, education, religious affairs. The world is different because of India's unified weight. The Cold War played differently. A united India with its full economic potential was too large for either the US or USSR to ignore or dominate. India became a genuine third pole in Cold War geopolitics rather than a non-aligned movement leader with limited economic leverage. China's rise in the 2000s faced a different counterweight. In our timeline, a fragmented South Asia posed no competitive challenge to China's economic growth. In this timeline, China and India are genuine peers, similar population, similar GDP, similar growth rates. The 21st century's defining geopolitical relationship is India-China rather than US-China. The costs are real. Religious minorities within the Federation face political pressures that independence would have removed. The Hindu nationalist movements that in our timeline control India have, in this timeline, a larger target. Their communalism operates against a larger Muslim population that has genuine political power rather than a separate state. The tensions are ongoing. But nobody dies at a border that doesn't exist. Nobody is a refugee from a line that was never drawn. The 1 to 2 million who died in August 1947 are alive. Their children are alive. Their grandchildren contribute to the world's second largest economy. 1 to 2 million people died because a British lord was in a hurry. That is not a simplification. Lord Mountbatten moved the independence date forward by 10 months for political convenience. Those 10 months, the time a federal compromise needed to be negotiated, were traded for a quick British exit. The cost was paid entirely by Indians, Pakistanis, and Bangladeshis. Mountbatten was home in London before the bodies were counted. Every time you see the India-Pakistan rivalry, the cricket matches, the nuclear tests, the wars, the 70,000 dead in Kashmir, remember, it didn't have to exist. It was created in 6 weeks by a man who had never been to India and went home when he was done. Was a united India always possible? Historians disagree. Maybe the communal violence was already too deep. Maybe partition was inevitable regardless of timeline. I don't think so. But tell me in the comments whether you do. Until the vault opens again, subscribe to the Alternate Archive.